Hello friends, I want to welcome you to my course on MySQL database. So I have made this course for developers who want to learn about MySQL database and those who want to work on backend. Learning of database and database management system is very important. So this course is catered for them. So if you are looking for a course on database certification or database administration or data analysis, then probably this course is not right for you. This course is specifically designed for developers because I myself am a developer and I have developed this course by putting all my learning, all my experience, all my ups and downs that I have endured during my 9 years of experience in this software realm, right? So I hope this course will help you, right? This course is specifically on MySQL database or no relational database. This course does not target the NoSQL database like MongoDB and those kind of stuff. This is pure relational database, right? So whatever you will learn, these are relational database concept. I have taken MySQL here as the example. Now, learning of database is extremely important, right? Database constitutes the backbone of any software company or any company for that matter, right? They say data is the new oil, right? If you don't have understanding about how database internally works, right? How to write queries, how to create or organize your data, its schema, then it's very difficult to survive in software industry, right? It's very crucial for you to understand the database, its management system, right, and all the concept that is related to the database, right? That's what makes a seasoned software engineer, specifically a backend software engineer, right? If you are looking to go into backend software development, then understanding of database is extremely important, right? So this is what the course is designed for. We will start from absolute zero as if you are a beginner, and slowly we'll keep on taking up a notch and we'll go towards advanced concept. This course will be mostly hands-on. There are one or two places where I'll be using little bit of PowerPoint to explain the concept, but otherwise this course is extremely hands-on. I'll be writing the query and I'll be running the query, and I'll give you the live example of how the query is written and how its output will be structured, right? Now, in order to take this course, what you need, of course, you need a MySQL database instance, right? There are a couple of ways in which you can get the database instance. One is using a cloud service provider, right? You can go to any cloud service provider like Amazon AWS. From there, you can take a MySQL instance. All you have to do is you should know the URL or the host name of the SQL database, its port number, and its user ID and password that you need to connect, right? If you have this information at hand, then you can proceed with the course. Alternatively, what you can do is you can install a MySQL server engine on your local system, right? It is available for both Mac and OS operating system. If you go to the MySQL website, there is a community edition that if you install, right, that you should be able to install in your system. And with that, it will run as a local host. It will run on a port number, and ID and password you can configure during installation. There is another method that is using Docker, right? So what you can do is you can write a Docker compose file. I'll show you my Docker compose file, right? So if you don't know Docker, that's fine. If you know Docker, you can see this one. This is a Docker compose file. What this will do is this will take a MySQL image, right? I have named it as Docker MySQL, right? And its password is, of course, password I have kept it. Of course, if you want, you can change it, right? And by default, the Docker username will be root, right? And it is running on port 3306, and inside the container and outside the container, it is pointing to same port 3306, right? Now, if you run Docker compose up, right, like how I have done here, you will get a running instance of the Docker, right? So these are the three options. I leave up to you what option you prefer the best, right? For me, I'm going to use the Docker compose because that's what I feel convenient, right? So I'll be using the Docker compose method. Of course, if you want, you can go for a cloud instance, or if you want, if you feel convenient, you can install the MySQL database server instance in your system. Now, how to connect to the database, right? So there is a tool called MySQL Workbench, right? So there is a tool called MySQL Workbench, right? So if you open that tool, it will help you connect into the database, right? So here what you can do is you can add a new connection, right? You can give a connection name. You can give any name to this one, right? Here you have to give the host name, right? Whatever is your host name. For me, it is the local host or the loopback IP address. For you, if you have taken it from a cloud service provider, from their console, you can get the host name, right? This is the port. This is the username root, and you have to give a password, right? With that, you should be able to connect, right? You will get this kind of a icon, and with that, you should be able to connect into the database, right? So for me, what I'm going to use is a VS Code extension, right? So what this VS Code extension is, this is MySQL extension, right? So I'll enable this one. For you, you might have to do an installation, right? Once that is done, you will get this kind of a icon here on your VS Code, right? So what you can do is create a connection, right? Then select the MySQL, right? Here you have to add the host name. Here you have to give your port, right? Username and password, right? With that, you should be able to connect, right? So password, right? Now what I will do is I'll try to connect, right? If you see here, it has connected, right? Now, if I scroll down this one, I have some database. So what you can do is I already have a database called learning. If you want, you can create your own database. So within one database, we will create multiple tables, and within that we will run all our queries and we will learn, right? So I have created a database called learning. If you want, you can create one more database here, right? Create database, right? YouTube MySQL Masterclass, right? And what you have to do here, if you see, there is one execute button, right? You can either use this one, or what you can do, if wherever is the cursor, right? This wherever we have this semicolon, right? Just put your cursor there and press Control Enter, right? Your database will be created, or this query will be executed, right? Here your database is created, right? So create database with your whatever name you want to create. Once that is done, you are all set to deep dive into this course, right? So I'll see you in the next video, and from the next video onwards, we'll start learning the database concepts, right?